YouTube? Headshot87. Welcome to the channel and our ultimate single stack shootout. This is something that a lot of you guys have asked me to do a comparison, revisit the Glock 43. So we decided to get 4 of the best options on the market. Alright, so keep in mind this is a lot of work. So if you guys can, destroy that like button, become a subscriber, and check the links out down below for discounts on all your gear. And let's go and get started. So we're going to talk about everything from out of the box to the range, how they carry, pros and cons. We're going to cover it all. So it's going to be a long video. This is not intended to be some quick little rundown, a commercial. This is in-depth, how we see it, and our personal experience. All right, so we got them all laid out right here. Let's go ahead and start with what you get out of the box. Let's go ahead and start with the newest of the bunch. You get a nice hard case with a PPS M2. Of course, this is their retake of the original PPS. You're going to get paperwork, hard case, all that kind of stuff. 2 magazines. You're going to get a 6-round magazine that's flush fit. All right, and then you're going to get a 7-round magazine that protrudes, so you can get a 3-finger grip on there. Very, very nice gun. What they've done with this gun, all the changes make a lot of sense for sure. Let's go ahead and move this box to the side. Talk about the Glock 43. This one's been out for almost a year, and how much our channel has changed, how many people have joined us on our channel since this gun came out. It's just amazing. It blows my mind. But here we are almost a year later, and bought the Glock 43 again. I forgot to mention the PPS as far as price. This is March 2016. I paid $410 plus a $20 transfer. So not too bad on that one. This one I paid $449. It's going to come with a hard case, lock. It's going to come with a little cleaning brush, 2 6-round magazines. You got your extended one right here, so you can get all your fingers on there, unless you have super huge hands, of course. And then you have your flush 6-round magazine. All right. This one does come with a little assist loader. It's not the greatest, but if you need something, it'll get you by. All right. Lc9s Pro. This one's been out for a couple years now. We reviewed this, I think, the beginning of last year. It's going to come with 1 7-round magazine. It's also going to come with a cardboard box. I don't have the box to show you, but this was actually my gun, and I sold it to a buddy of mine. 1 7-round magazine. It's also going to come with a pouch. I paid $350 for this gun. And that's pretty much it. That's what it comes with, and a lock as well. All right, that is their new take on from the original Lc9s. I'll show you the difference because I have an original Lc9. All right, we'll go over all that in here in a little bit. And the king of concealed carry, as I've called it in the past. This one's an oldie but goodie. It's been out for 4 years now almost. And when this gun came out, there was a couple things as far as competition. You had the PPS, but there's a lot of competition now for this gun. It comes with a cardboard box, 1 7-round magazine, flush fit, of course. And then you have an extended 8-round mag. All right, so there you go. That's what they come with out of the box. Let's go ahead and move these to the side and talk about what makes these guns different. All right, let's talk about the features. PPS, of course, from the original, they have deleted the one slot there for your rail, slightly beveled in the front. Notice your front and rear slide serrations, which is a nice little touch. Out of all these, this is the only one that has that. Rounded off trigger guard, very high undercut up underneath the trigger guard. This really, really helps, especially with the 6-round magazine. When you're shooting, you can get your fingers up there really high, and it feels really good. Standard American magazine button, which is really awesome. They deleted the German paddle release. The stippling on the grip feels really good. It's PPQ style stippling, and that's basically what it feels like, is a mini PPQ. Little finger grooves right there. 6-round magazine, of course, going around. You see your sights. They are the original PPS sights, so they are 3-dot variety, adjustable in the rear, and steel. You have your striker indicator back here. All right, so when you pull the trigger, striker goes away. Magazine button is not reversible. I don't know why they opted to not do that. Loaded viewport up top there, so you can see your brass. and takedown notches. All right, so overall they really made a brand new gun with the PPS M2. Very nice job on that gun. All these guns we have separate reviews on as well, so if you want to check them out, please go ahead. Glock 43, finally a single stack 9mm from Glock. It has been hugely successful. It looks basically just like a regular Glock. You have your squared off trigger guard here, so if you do something like that, it'll probably be pretty comfortable. Slightly undercut in the frame here, so you can get a pretty high grip. Gen 4 magazine button, oversized. All right. Stippling on the grip, they claim it as aggressive, but it is not aggressive whatsoever. After you shoot it for a while, you start to get what I'm talking about. Notice the hump back here. This, of course, is going to have a different grip angle from the rest of these. Notice the shield. It is a different grip angle. We're not used to shooting Glocks, so it's something you got to get used to. Side serrations are straight up and down vertical. Beaver tail back here in the back, which prevents your slide bite. There's your other 6-round magazine. Sights are your standard U-notch Glock sights. There are plenty of sight options available for this gun. Magazine button is reversible on this gun. Out of all these, it is the only one that's reversible, so keep that in mind. If you're a lefty and you need that, that may be a good option for you. Takedown notches are very small. Overall, a very clean gun from Glock, as you would expect. Going to the shield. Man, this has been a great gun. This gun has like 1,400 rounds through it. No spot for a rail here. You'll notice that your trigger guard is slightly undercut. It kind of flattens out right here, so it doesn't feel as good as like the Walther. Standard magazine button. It's angled back and towards you. It's got these little bumps on it. Speaking of bumps, the grip is it's got these little bumps on it. You know, when you're firing a lot at the range, this doesn't do a lot of justice, but for what these are, keep in mind, you know, we really are nitpicking these things just to give every little detail, but if you had to pull this out of your holster and use it, you wouldn't notice that at all. All right, you got your takedown notch, your slide stop, and your safety. This will come with or without a safety. The Glock 43, of course, no safety. PPS, no safety. So with or without a safety, that's going to be your call. There's also a performance center shield. I'll show you that one here in a second too, just to give you an idea what that looks like. All right, fish scale style serrations, very nice. Loaded viewport, steel adjustable sights. There again is plenty of sight options for the shield as well. So there you go. No ambi features. Sorry lefties about that. All right, now going to the Lc9s Pro. This is an improvement over the original Lc9. So all your magazines, all of your holsters will work for this gun. Slightly beveled here in the front. Of course, it's very smooth. Very small magazine button, but it is very positive. All right, not reversible either. You got these little kind of like diamonds on the front and rear strap. They do an okay job. You can definitely tell with this gun that it is a smaller gun. It's the lightest of the bunch. You can tell when you're firing this thing that it is a definitely smaller gun. With or without a safety. If you get the one with the safety, it's also going to get the magazine disconnect. So just keep that in mind. This is the Pro model. Slide serrations are very nice. They're kind of angled forward, and they do a great job when you're racking the slide. Loaded viewport up here as well. Your sights are steel, and the rear one is adjustable. Very small dots, but they do the job for sure. Coming around, no left-hand features as well. All right, now this one is 9mm only, 9mm or 40, 9mm only, 9mm and 40 should be out. We're in March 2016, should be out any day now. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the specs really quick. I'm not gonna bore you guys too much with this. What I'm gonna do is I got a little cheat sheet here, but I'm gonna set them on their backs, and I'm gonna let you guys look at them while we're talking about this. So let's go ahead and put them on their backs here. And push them forward. Alright, so Glock 43. You will notice, let's go ahead and get it in its shortest configuration here. Glock 43 is going to be the shortest. Playing dominoes with the guns here. The Glock 43 is going to be the shortest, okay? It has a 6-round magazine, 6.2 inches in overall length, 4 1/4 inches high, 1.02 inches wide. The barrel length is 3.39 inches, so the Glock 43 is going to have the longest barrel, and 17.9 ounces unloaded weight on the Glock 43. MSRP is $529 on the Glock. Alright, looking at the PPS M2 here, 6.3 inches in overall length, 4.4 inches in its shortest configuration, 1 inch wide, 3.1 inch barrel, 21.1 ounces unloaded, so this is going to be the heaviest of all of them. And the MSRP on this guy is $469. So they did really good with the price on the new PPS. Lc9s, 6 inches in overall length. This is going to be the shortest gun. 4 1/2 inches high, 0.90 inches wide, so less than an inch wide. 3.1 inch barrel, and 17.2 ounces unloaded. So this is going to be the lightest of them all, and $479 on the MSRP. And the long running shield, 6.1 inches in overall length, 4 1/4 inches high, 6.1 inches long, 4.6 inches in overall height, 0.95 inches as far as the width, 3.1 inch barrel, 19 ounces unloaded, and $449 is going to be your MSRP on this gun. So now we've covered all of the boring stuff. Let's get to the breakdown here really quick. Keep in mind I have a video on all this stuff, so I'm not going to show you every little detail. This is to give you quite a bit, but we're not going to go over every little detail. PPS M2, make sure you're clear, pull the trigger. There you go. Glock, just like any other one, pull the trigger, pull your slide back. There you go. Move these mags out of the way. Shield, lock the slide to the rear, rotate your lever down, pull the trigger. There we go. And the Lc9s Pro, a little bit more involved. Lock the slide to the rear, pull this little window down actually, pull the trigger, pull it back a little bit. You can see that little pin in there, and this one's loose enough where it should come out. There we go. You got your little pin right there, and the slide's going to come right off. Now, I'm not going to pull the barrels out of these, but here's the shield, here's the Lc9s Pro. They're both dual captive recoil springs. They're all drop safe as well. Here is your PPS M2. And here's your Glock. Notice the Glock has the internal spring, and the spring inside the spring, basically. But they're all dual captive recoil springs. I'll let Mrs. Heckshot show you the inside of the slides here. I keep playing dominoes with these guns. Let's see here if we can get this to work. Alright. So, Glock 43, PPS, shield, Lc9s, they all pretty much use the same type of configuration. Of course, Glock has been doing this for a long time, and a lot of people have copied this design, but it works, and all these guns pretty much use the same kind of setup. Internally, they're pretty much all the same. Here's your points of contact on the Glock. On the PPS, you have one long rail, and then you have two separate ones right there. On the shield, you got 4 points of contact. On the Lc9s, you have this reinforced steel slide rails. Pretty much go all the way, at least halfway. Alright, let's put them back together really quick here. Lc9s, again, A little bit more involved, but not too bad at all. Pull the slide back just a little bit. Put your pin in there. Close up your window. Boom. Which one we got? The Shield. Like I said, all these guns are very similar in some ways, but there are some major key differences. When we get to the shooting, we'll be able to show you quite a bit more of those. We'll also go over the trigger weights. I did an average of 5 pulls, and we're also going to show them to you on camera. Alright, so there we go. There is the nitty-gritty on that. Let's go ahead and get to some shooting, and we'll do pros and cons, and we'll show you the triggers here in a minute. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. As you can see, they are all good shooters. In your hands, you may have better results. We weren't going for extreme accuracy because that's not what these guns are for, but they are still very accurate. Here's some of my shooting with the shield there. Lc9s Pro, Glock 43, PPS M2. I mean, they're all very, very good shooters. Mrs. Headshot, Shield, very nice group. Ruger, 43, a little bit of, the 43 sights I think are the biggest thing on that gun. PPS. Mrs. Headshot again, Shield, Ruger, Glock 43, PPS M2. So as you can see, all of these guns are very, very good shooters for what they are. Let's go ahead and show you the triggers, and then I'll show you the weight on them. Starting with the Glock here, you have your standard little dingus right there on the trigger. You have a little bit of take up and a nice clean break. Reset right there, and you're ready to shoot again. So very nice trigger on the Glock. I mean, all these guns are very small guns, but they really do have great triggers on them. M&P, you have a hinge style trigger here, so it's going to flatten out a little bit as you pull it. Nice clean break. There's your reset. A little bit harder to hear the reset on this gun. There's your reset. Alright. Lc9s Pro, man did they do a good job with this trigger on this gun. Little dingus on the trigger. There's your break. It is super light. Reset isn't the greatest, but very nice pull. PPS M2, they did an excellent job upgrading this trigger. It's not as light as a PPQ, but it is nice. Here's your reset right there. You're back in action. So none of them are perfect, but they are all good triggers for sure. As far as the weights, I'm gonna grab my cheat sheet one more time. I did a 5-pull average on the Shield. It was 6 pounds 7 ounces. As far as the I did a average of 5 pulls. So 6 pounds 7 ounces. The Lc9s was 4 pounds 9 ounces. The PPS was 6.9 ounces. And the Glock 43 was 6.5 ounces. So all of them are right there. The Lc9s definitely has the best trigger. When it comes to shooting and shooting consistently, it definitely has the best trigger. All right, let's start with the Shield here, see what we can get. 6 pounds 1 ounce. Here's the Lc9s Pro. 3 pounds 14 ounces. This is a light trigger, guys. Let's try it one more time. Now let's try this one more time here. 3 pounds 13 ounces. It is very light. Maybe too light for some people. I don't know. Depends on how you feel about that. Here's the PPS M2. This one is a little bit harder. 6 pounds 6 ounces. 6 pounds 12 ounces. So it is pretty consistent with what we had last night. I did want to show you the improvement that Ruger has made on their original. This is another guy I work with. This is his gun. He wanted me to clean it up for him, so I'm gonna do that. The original LC9, of course, had the magazine disconnect, had the safety, all that kind of stuff. The pull on it is not great. It is hammer fired as well, double action only. So it had a really long trigger pull. It's not like super heavy, but it's just long. And if you compare that with today, the upgraded one, rack the slide on here, you can tell they look identical. See how much cleaner that actually is. So Ruger did a great job as far as the upgrade on their trigger for sure. Alright, one other option you have with the Shield as well is the Performance Center, which is ported with the fiber optic sights. You also get a little bit better trigger pull with a better reset. So I just wanted to show you that you do have that option with the Shield as well. We have a full review and comparison of these two guns, so if you want to go over and check that out. Alright, so before we get to pros and cons as far as carrying the guns, my trusty holster for the Shield. Alright, so I've been carrying it like this for a while. Lc9s Pro fits in there as well. Trigger guard's covered. Glock 43 fits in there as well. The PPS does not. The PPS is a bigger gun. It will not get in there. As far as which one carries the most comfortable, it's between the Lc9s and the Glock 43. These two carry very good. They are the lightest, of course, too. But these two carry very well, especially inside of a holster like this. It is super, super comfortable carrying like that. The Shield is not bad in this holster either. It's not a huge difference. The PPS, you get into a little bit more weight. You're talking about 4 or 5 ounces between here and here and here and here, and a couple ounces between these two. So I've been carrying this one in a hidden hybrid holster I have for the P320, and it does just fine. You can tell there is a little bit more weight there though. As far as the magazines, I do carry an extra magazine whenever I carry at least these three. And I have something very cool to show you guys in an upcoming video of how to carry these in a comfortable way. But there you go. So we have covered a lot. Let's go ahead and get to pros and cons and end this video out. And hopefully this will give you enough to go off of when you are looking at these guns. Starting with the pros of the Glock 43. This is a great little gun. If you're used to Glocks, you're going to be very familiar with this gun. It's a very good looking gun. It's small and it's a very good size, and that's one thing I like that Glock did here. They kept it small, they kept it very Glock like, but it's its own little gun for sure. Overall it's a good shooter too. Now if you're used to Glocks, you're gonna do a lot better with this thing probably than I did. That's something as far as like shooting, I would like to get a new pair of sights if I decide to keep this one. But this thing just has a great feel in the hand. It's very easy to rack this gun as well, and that's something I like as well. It's very easy, so if you have a weak dexterity in your hands for whatever reason, this one is going to this one's going to do you well. All right. Great feel. The price has come down on these things. Originally I've seen some of these sell for $600, which is insane for this gun. But $449 for regular retail, I think you're getting definitely a good gun for sure. All right, pros on the Lc9s. They did a fabulous job with the upgraded trigger on this gun. I'm glad they went without a safety and no magazine disconnect, at least on this option. A very small gun, a very easy gun to shoot well. Even though it can be a little snappy in the hands sometimes, it still is a very easy gun to shoot. Overall, it's Ruger, and you get that reliability, you get that ruggedness, you get their excellent customer service. You get a very nice package here with the Ruger. It's light, it's concealable, it shoots well. That trigger is amazing. It's the best one out of all 4 of these. Just a really solid gun, and for the money, the price, $350, that's a great deal. Very good deal on the Ruger. PPS M2. Man, they did a great job. I like the original, and we reviewed that, a few months ago, but man, they did just an excellent job. The magazine button is right where it needs to be. It makes sense. The stippling on the grip feels fabulous. Now keep in mind, this is the biggest out of all these, but it also feels the best. And for somebody that may be sensitive to recoil, this is going to be a dream to shoot. as far as this category of guns. It feels really good. It shoots solid. I love how easy it is to rack the slide. Now, when you get in these small guns, the springs on them are very stiff, so you got to keep that in mind. But this gun, not at all. Even if you want to do press checks, it's just a very solid gun. All of your accessories from the original PPS, as far as like sights, those are going to work. The magazines are not, unfortunately, but just a very solid gun. A great shooter. Feels amazing in the hand. This is the best feeling one in the hand for sure. The trusty M&P Shield. We have done so many videos with this gun. First of all, what comes to mind as far as pros is reliability, and you get a very solid lifetime warranty on the gun. These things, through many examples, have been reliable. They are very solid. You can get them with or without safeties. The magazine button on this gun, in my opinion, is the best one out of all these. It's very positive. You know, it is a stiffer little gun, but as far as shooting this gun, it feels like a bigger gun. This one and the PPS really feel like a bigger gun than what they really are. And you feel like you have total control over these guns. Solid, rugged, lifetime warranty. I love these things, man. You know, I don't see this going anywhere. This is Mrs. Headshot's gun, and if it's up to her, it will never go anywhere. So very solid gun. The Shield, you know, so many great things have been said about this gun. It just really is, as it's promoted, it is awesome. Now about cons. None of these guns are perfect, and as much as people like to think that they are, they're not. So let's start with the cons on the Glock 43. The sights for me are a con. For you, they may not be, but for me, they're a con. They're hard to line up for me. I don't like the sight picture. The point of aim is not natural for me either, but it's something I could get used to for sure. The magazine button, especially with this magazine, every once in a while I try to drop it just like that, and it's like hitting the fatty part of my hand and slows it down. Do not like the way they designed this. I think it needs to be a little bit more responsive. There, it wasn't even touching my hand. Needs to be a little bit more responsive. 6 rounds in the magazine, you know, I feel they could have definitely squeezed another round out of this. That's just my opinion. Other than that, the price has come down, which is a good thing. It is going to be the most expensive, depending on where you go, of course. But very solid gun. I really like it a lot. It does have some cons, like these all do. Alright. Cons on the Lc9s. This is a stiff little gun. If you have weak dexterity, like I said, this gun may not be the best for you. This gun can be quite snappy, depending on what load you're shooting. Of course, we shot just regular 115 grain, but shooting all of these compared to each other, you can tell it's got a little bit of snap to it. The 43 does as well, but this one seems to be the snappiest. It is the lightest, though. Other than that, that's really all I got, except for the sight. You have to, apparently it's a pain to change these sights out. I'm not a huge fan of the really small dots right there in the front. And I'm also not a huge fan of the grip. It is kind of small. It doesn't fill the hand as well as the rest of them. But as far as carrying and shooting this gun, it's got an amazing trigger on it. The breakdown is not bad at all. Not a lot of cons on this gun, to be honest with you. They did a fantastic job on the Lc9s Pro. Alright, cons on the PPS M2. The sight options and aftermarket support for the PPS has never been great. This gun, it seems like people are really liking this gun, so hopefully that will change with this one. So as far as the aftermarket support, it's not great. It is a little bit heavy for a single stack. You know, it's about the weight of some of the smaller compact guns, you know, double stack compact guns. So it is a little bit heavy. I would have liked to have seen them to update the 6-round magazine. I think, you know, you have all these windows right here, but it only fits 6, you know, rounds. It just seems like they could have updated that. The magazines, again, are going to be a little bit expensive and hard to get sometimes. But other than that, it's a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier, but you're also going to have a softer shooting gun. This is probably the softest shooting gun on the table for sure. They did a great job on this gun. Not too many cons with this one either. All right, now the cons on the M&P Shield. Let's go ahead and talk about these real quick. This is the most unrefined best gun on the market. It's got little quirks like the magazines don't like to, when they're fully loaded, they'll stick out like that. You got to pop them in. The magazines, you know, you can see the bottom of the magazine right there. Little quirks like that kind of bug me. The slide on this thing, even after as many rounds as it's had, can be kind of stiff. So that's one of those things. The reset on this gun, it's got a little ghost reset in it. Right there. Which gets me every once in a while. Little things like that bug me. And it has them. Now the shield, the Performance Center shield, remedies that little ghost reset you just seen. But it's just one of those things. Overall though, fantastic deal. You can get these things anywhere from $325 to $350 with 2 magazines. Just an excellent deal, excellent gun. This thing is going to be around for a long time. So, I don't know what else I can tell you about these except for the way they were made and all that kind of stuff. We have went over a ton of information. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. As far as which one I like the best, I'm gonna be honest with you, I like them all. But if I had to walk out the door today with one of them, and which one would I feel the most comfortable with, we'll just say that, I would go with the PPS. I think it is, in my hands, the best shooter. That one and the Lc9s. But I feel comfortable with this gun. I think it gives you a lot. It feels the best in my hands. And I just feel very confident with this gun. If I'm slow shooting, if I'm shooting quicker, it doesn't matter. I just feel it gives you the most options, and they just did a fantastic job on this gun. Mrs. Heckshot, she's behind the camera. The shield is just what she's comfortable with. And even in her shooting, you could tell that she is very comfortable with this gun, and where she needs to put the rounds, they will go. She is very good with this gun, and that's going to be the gun she chooses. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. We've talked about a lot of the differences between these guns. If you pick one of these up, heck, you could even throw these in the mix. Out of any of these guns, they're all going to be great. They're all going to offer you something different, and they're all going to be really great. So let me know what you guys think down below. Please take a second, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you destroy that like button. We will see you in the next video, and as always, hold them down.